Welcome, ladies and germs, back to another episode of All the Things podcast presented by Euphonic Creations. I am your host, Patrick W. Dockett, aka Mindax the Poet. Um, Guys, we have a lot going on this week. We have so much going on. Sorry that we didn't come back on the same actual day as last week. We're fixing our schedules, don't worry. Life happens, people. Life happens. We do want to thank you for joining us here at All the Things. Today, what we're going to do, because we have journalistic integrity here, okay? What we're going to do is the same thing. We'll start the same way every podcast by going back to the previous week. We work hard around here, and any gloss overs, any corrections, anything that we really have to correct or update, we're going to make sure that we do that for you guys, just so there's not a lot of, you guys said this last week and I found it to not be true. Like when we find things to not be true, we're going to correct it. Don't worry, okay? So first off, I do want to enlist you guys that drink to re-listen to the first podcast and take a shot every single time I say the word It's like that episode of How I Met Your Mother when they do the same thing to Robin Scherbatsky on the morning news show. You know, she thinks she's so popular with the college kids, and everybody's, they know her name. They're saying hello to her, and they all know her. But it's because in the bar, she finds out that she's become a drinking game. I mean, every single time she says people are taking shots. And she said it way more than me in that 30-minute episode, but I was really on one. It was the end of a long sleepless week. So no excuse. I have to be better. I'm an English major. I know more words. But the very next show, she says way more times than I said it, but I said more times than Barack Obama doing some of his stump speeches back in the day. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, not gonna clown our former president, but no, don't create a drinking game to my ums. I promise you'll get alcohol poisoning. We were bustling. I think I was shooting at the end of a 2 to 3 day work binge with only about 5 hours of sleep. No excuse, but that is my excuse. Seriously, my insomnia is so bad, guys. I figure if I'm not sleeping, I might as well be working. So that's a lot of what happened, but you get the gist. So we have some clarifications or corrections from last week. I'll just say it again. Don't worry, not too much. We said we were going to be dropping our first podcast on April 1st. Now we missed that deadline, and we didn't drop till the 3rd, I believe. Only a day or two. We failed there. It won't happen again. We're going to make sure that we have our schedules with you guys like knocked down. So you can expect us every single week at the same time. Also, we'll drop smaller videos and drops. We'll have some music stuff we'll drop, but the podcast, All the Things podcast, we will be here for you starting this upcoming week, the same time every week. Same day, same time every week. We'll be doing some live shootings as well. So that's going to happen. I also, around minute 5, the 5th minute, 50 seconds into the pod, I glossed over speaking on the Harlem Renaissance. And I meant to say that it was not just started by Langston Hughes, but also his publisher, obviously, and his name was Arna Botemps. So between those two, Langston Hughes and Arna Botemps, they kickstarted that whole Harlem Renaissance chapter. Didn't get anything wrong there. I just thought I should add that information, Around around 5 minutes and 34 seconds, I also glossed over the poem from Langston Hughes that inspired me to write. I know I mentioned something about it, but I didn't mention the actual poem. So when I was a teenager and I was super into poetry and finding out about, not just the Harlem Renaissance, but just reading a lot of my favorite poets. It's just an oversight because I wanted to hit my marks. But the first poem he published, he was a teen himself. He was 14. The poem is The Negro Speaks of Rivers. The Negro Speaks of Rivers. It's wonderfully written, so many layers. It's something to aspire to, actually, which I have yet to get close. And I literally have thousands of pages published on many platforms. Great writing inspires me from afar. So easy to recognize, but difficult to do. Around minute 34 in the first podcast, I could not remember the name of the news anchor. Trevor Lawrence is who I was talking about. I said Lawrence something. I think it is. I hope it's Trevor Lawrence. You know what? Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that because I do believe it's Trevor Lawrence. If it's not, I'll come back next podcast and and I'll correct this one. And he was one of the anchors I was thinking about when I was talking about the last decent trusted anchors of our time, like New Age, our time. Interestingly enough, he also journeyed into fiction and he was a staff writer for certain episodes of The West Wing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a true story. So one of my favorite anchors that permeated our TVs and our minds between the 2000s and the 2010s also wrote for my favorite show back in the 90s and early 2000s. So that's just a fun fact. These facts are fun. Let's have fun with them, okay? What else? Around minute 34 and 44, I also mentioned the field reporter for Walter Cronkite was Tom Brokaw during the JFK assassination. That was completely wrong. It was Dan Rather, actually. I went back and looked at the documentary again. So it was Dan Rather. So before Dan Rather was a trusted person in the anchor for ABC News, came up under the old school journalism. He was a field reporter for one of the best that's ever done it. So I knew this information. I just could not call it up right off the cuff. Once again, not an excuse, lack of sleep. Sorry. The last thing that I want to bring up will be around minute 34 or so. I only name Walter Cronkite as a trusted news anchor, but there's a lineage that stretches from Cronkite that, and I've watched documentaries on this and it fascinates me. You know, there was Edward R. Murrow, just mentioned Dan Rathers, Peter Jennings, Brian Williams, of course, before he got caught lying on air, which was the thing that basically ended him. The thing about anchors, news anchors, at least it used to be, it's not now, by the way, which I'm still very disillusioned with. But the thing about the old school anchors is there was actually a standard. Now, that standard doesn't exist anymore. But getting it wrong, any news story on live TV, and having to retract can end or stall a career, just like it did with Dan Rather. Dan Rather actually, he got up there before he retired. He falsely reported on Bush 2's service record. And when you outright lie, like Brian Williams did, he was at the tail end of a time where the standard existed and the rest is history there in terms of trustworthiness. That used to mean something, guys. So I have a clip here, though. And I was thinking about these things, and I was thinking about some of the ways that we are led astray by false information. It's basically the norm now. We don't have anchors in news that go by the old standards like our parents did or our grandparents did. We're not really informed. What we do get, we get our ears tickled by whomever we want to listen to. I said it last week. If you're a conservative, you're watching Fox News, you're not getting the whole story. You're getting the side of the story you want to get. Same with MSNBC, CNN, all of them now. But in this clip that I want to play for you guys, I want you to chew on this for a second. It is titled The Best 3 Minutes in Television. And it's from a show called The Newsroom. And yes, it is written by Aaron Sorkin. I'll be singing his praises every now and again. Don't worry, we'll move on from him. But this is a political season, so he's a political writer, and he's gonna be in the room with us a lot. But we're not on him so much. We're on the political statements about news anchors right now. So outside of him making a crack about angels or whatever, I agree with most of this clip. seeing as how I am a believer, I'm a Christian. I do believe angels exist, so he did disparage us there, but that's simply in opposition with his statement about that. But this clip has been out for years, basically. So you can look it up. It's not hidden. It's not just one of those things. I mean, anybody can look it up. As a matter of fact, it trended when it came out. It's titled "The Best 3 Minutes in Television." So I'm going to play this clip for you really quick, and I'll bring you right back.
Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Well, why is America
not the greatest country in the world, Professor? That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of our paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose.
If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always?
Hey, and with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom?
Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom. The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain,
Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl.
just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day,
There's some things you should know, and one of them is there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite?
Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men, men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore. Enough?
So tell me, how does that make you feel? Does it ring true? The second part, or if you're older, does a sense of pride swell up within you because he's talking about you there in your generation? When he is saying how real we used to be. I mean, the score comes in, it's all beautified. It's amazing. It gives you goosebumps, it gives you chills. What about you young people though? The college kids here, the people that are in their 20s and 30s, do you believe that you are literally a part of the worst generation ever? How does that make you feel? Do you think he's even talking about your generation? Is this the loudest, dumbest, most disrespectful, most emotional, most irreverent generation ever? Not just talking about politics here, talking about everything. I'm talking about the world it's run by established people, But the direction we go in the direction of young people, obviously. Some things, not so much. I mean, there are the elites, there's the 1%, there's this and that. But when he said that, and I'm looking around, whether I was on the coast, but definitely down here, and that may ring true to me a little bit. I'm not saying it in I'm not perched up on some high pedestal saying it. Even my generation, like I'm a 90s, but I mean, I graduated in 99 when I was becoming a young man, and we weren't the best. As a matter of fact, a lot of us are the reason that you guys here now that are part of that generation. But we really need to take a look at everything around us, guys. Here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, especially, that's where we are now. And him saying with such vitriol, you are part of the worst period, generation period, ever period. I mean, that rings true. Listen to two young people have a conversation or a debate. Go on a college campus, not just on the corner, whatever. Go to a college campus and disagree with someone. Now, see if you can have a discourse, if you can use logic and wisdom and have a conversation, or see if somebody just starts yelling at you and using emotion and repeating themselves. And listen, it's a great exercise. Do it. There are real world implications in that monologue, and it's the most apt description that I've heard about our very real world, and it's from a work of fiction. How does that happen? Actually, how does that really happen? And why are we so content with it? Why are we content? Older people, younger people, why are we content with our surroundings? There are trailblazers. There are people that can and should change things one room at a time if we can. It's just such a good speech, man. I love it. That whole episode is fire. Be the dub, the subtleties of getting something so important right and getting there first and the right way. News speaking, journalistically speaking, is so fire. Spoilers though, I won't say anything. You go watch it for your show, or go watch it for yourself. It's been off the air for years, and I know most people probably ignored it. But I bet you've seen Power or Empire. Peaky Blinders. I won't put that in the same category. I haven't seen them, but I know they are decent shows, and I've seen drops and spots of those last three and whatever. But I'm just saying. I mean, think about that speech. I know you're checking out my bling right now. See that? Yeah. Okay. So my bling blow. I don't know what the youths are saying now. My goal, my all goal, everything right here. Yeah. I had to stop by the Shire before I came to work. I stopped by the Shire because my homeboy Frodo wanted me to hold up the ring for him. Yeah, he said this is the one ring. It has Elvis on it and everything. Yeah, I'm a geek, guys. Just bear with me here. But my homeboy Frodo wanted me to hold the ring for him, and apparently he kept it in his pocket or something. I don't know. He just asked me to ask Tom Bombadil if I have any questions. And those of you that know that name will know it. If you know, you know. A lot of people don't know what I just did there, but some people do. Those people that do, you are my people. So I gotta let it go, but shout out to Frodo and them boys. They're my guys right there. Speaking all things geek, I'm probably going to set up a watch party in the next few weeks. It's going to be a live thing. It's going to be something that after we get a little established, we got to do a little bit more. But the responses on these sites, and we're going to plan it better. And also got to put out a little bit more content and boost the channels, and that's coming. Boost the channels and everything, but that's coming. Watch parties, live watch parties, maybe once or twice a month. I don't know. It depends on how popular it gets, how popular it becomes. But just look out for that, okay? So next up, we're going to take a break. We're going to hear a word from our sponsors, and we're going to come right back and also talk about some of the interactions we've been having, some of the comments from the listeners. Got a lot of great feedback, guys. Thank you so much for continuing to write in and DM us all the good stuff. Keep them coming. We're going to make sure that everyone is able, that wants to, let their piece be heard. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after this.
For almost the past 30 years, Nutrimart has been one of the leading vitamin, supplement, health brands and a pillar in the San Diego community. Now boasting 8 stores in San Diego, this family-owned brand has a full-service online store for those of us in this part of the country, and they cater to all athletes, CrossFitters, health nuts, Yo Mama, Bo Jackson, Frodo and his Hobbits, Han Swallow, Darth Sith Pack, coaches, and a plethora of so many different sports enthusiasts across the country. And like those that order this product from coast to coast, you too can use Nutrimart for all your health needs. Find all the best national brands in vitamins, meal replacements, testosterone, libido enhancers, greens, herbs, protein bars, fat loss aids, muscle builders, and more. And order today from NutrimartUSA.com. That's NutrimartUSA.com. We'll put the address on the screen below, and you can start your order today. Don't miss out now. Go to NutrimartUSA.com, check out their vast array of products, and order today. And get your swole on, people. Now back to the show.
So, comments from the listeners of the last show. So we'll go over a few. I got a bunch of really good ones, but just for time's sake and from the pertinent information that we've been speaking about the last podcast, I'm going to go over a few right now. Let's see, I'm going to say someone, if you want to be, now listen, you don't have to identify yourself. You can have your anonymity. You can be anonymous. Some people want to shout out their IGs or Facebooks. I encourage that. Be part of the open discourse either way. We love the listeners here no matter what. Write in, whenever, whatever you like. And if you don't want your name or anything out there with your opinion, that's fine. We kind of lead the discourse. We don't take sides here at all the things. We talk about all the things, but we don't take one side on the left or the right. So we want everyone. We want all your opinions. Keep writing us, keep DMing us and everything. Sorry about that. But this first writer was speaking on the scamming segment. This listener states that her iPhone warns her of scams, and though she's never been directly affected by a scammer personally, she has fended them off at her job plenty of times by noticing their game and trying to sell them something. So this writer said that she's encountered some scammers, the Eastern Indian accent or whatever, trying to ask her personal questions, and she would basically not hang up on them. She'll stop them in her tracks, and in their tracks, and she tries to sell them things. I think that's a great conversation. I would love to be part of that conversation, actually, and I'm gonna probably do that. That's a good gig. I mean, scammers will call you and try to talk your ears off and all that. If you just turn the tables on them, I'm sure it might be the last call you get from that particular one. So, but kudos to her. That's awesome. That's an awesome story. I suppose they just get mad and hang up then, I guess. That's a great strategy. I personally once got 2 calls in a row from the same scammer, same number, voice and everything. It was going back to last week. It was for some fake sales or something. I don't know. I asked the scammer both times if I could pray for him. Now, I don't try to sell him something, but I asked him if I could pray for him. And seriously, I would have. Like, that's not me being facetious or anything. As soon as I said that both times, they just hung up. Then after that second time, they never called back. So I guess I kind of harshed their mellow a little bit there. But that's also a good strategy. Ask them if you can pray for them, or try to sell them something. Don't let them talk, because they can talk all the live long day and just hang up. It's another day at the office. But frustrate them for their next call or their next scam or whatever. Frustrate them. Maybe we can get them to quit, or some of them anyway. It's a losing battle. We're a leaf in a hurricane. We're kicking against the pricks. Fight the good fight. Just do it. Now, usually you can't call their numbers back. Sometimes you can, because they use fake phone numbers, obviously. But if they have a real clear-cut and clean operation set up, like some of those videos I watch on YouTube when the FBI gets at them, you have to have hacking software. Some people do, but FBI hacking software will hack into their systems and their videos. These videos are amazing. I might put a clip up, or maybe we'll talk about it at another time. But they're just sitting there, and then all of a sudden, their screen just turns on them, and the hacker software that the FBI uses, or whatever, they're speaking to them in their headsets, and they're like, "We see you guys. What do you do? You know, we see that girl beside you. It's like you guys are really doing." It scares the crap out of them. Some of them, it's a weird thing. You got to watch that. Watch some of those clips. But uh, if you have any type of software, you can kind of reverse the call, and you can get on them a little bit. But we're not gonna get back. We're not gonna get back into that. But that was just my experience, and also the caller. What else? What else are we speaking on politics? There's another listener that says during the political segment, she said she hopes Trump implodes, or not? No, she said explodes, I believe. I'm assuming she means his whole White House run this time. But either way, bro, don't come for me. Don't come for me, bro. I mean, President, bro. I'm just reporting from what the people here said, and I won't reveal the sources, obviously. But that's obviously you have some pro-Trump people, some pro-Biden people. It's gonna be a doozy this one. There's some implications, blah blah blah. My voice. There's some implications here, depending on which one of those guys are elected. Where, yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But another comment concerning favorite shows and all. I got a really interesting perspective from a listener that says, and this is interesting. They say that most famous people, actors, movie, TV, all that, they say that actors annoy this person, and they refuse to watch anything on television, on cable television, movies, except for real crime or medical shows. Like I think they listed the first 48. They love the process of investigations. They love when criminals get caught. And I thought to myself, because I'm pretty I'm pretty okay with that. I watch a lot of things like that as well. I'm more of a documentarian style. I love good movies, escapism sometimes, great writing, but I do watch more documentaries and documentary style television shows than anything when I'm on my off time or whatever. But I thought about that, and I was like, I can get behind that. I can get behind that. Most of what I mean, there are rabbit holes that I go down all the time. I just happen to be in certain niche genres that help me shut off my brain for a little bit, but doesn't quite dumb a person down, like regular television. I'm into anything Chris Nolan, obviously. His last movie, Oppenheimer. Come on, like, Interstellar. Oh my gosh, God. I mean, he even made comic book movies cool. Not like just comic book movies, but he made Batman in that the Dark Knight trilogy into something probably the best version of any type of superhero genre movie in that genre. I mean, like Christopher Nolan did anything Christopher Nolan directs, I'm watching. I'm watching. He's a new Spielberg. No, not Spielberg. He's a new Coppola, maybe. I think. I like Coppola. I think uh, he's the new Chris Nolan. We'll put it like that. It's great stuff. But I'm boring anyway. So unless you're interested in biopics, fiction, and sci-fi fiction, or some things that are not quite escapism, because at least the emotion you garner from it will firmly put you in reality. It'll just it'll just put you in a better position than you happen to be otherwise in your head. I mean, entertainment can work that way. I can vouch though for only watching realism, just real shows, First 48 or Dateline shows. I love Dateline. People how can people be so peoply? Like there are people in this world that do things. Now, we all have these little recesses in our mind where we do, you know, we'll do this or we'll do that, or I don't know. But the things that people do to each other, I mean, where husbands and wives are concerned, I just watched the Dateline episode. It's like, listen, bro, just get a divorce. Don't hire a hitman, create this elaborate story, do all this stuff. You're dumb. I mean, that's like the dumbest thing. I don't know, but real talk about fiction. I mean, things that happen on Dateline and Force 48, First 48, I guess. I don't really watch that one, but the things that happen there are in terms of entertainment value, but getting you caught up. Hey, I would think some of the things that happen on Dateline are fiction because, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on there. A lot of stuff that goes on there that I don't know. But said again, if you kept count this time, you might only have like 5 or 10 of them, so we're good. I'm sleep deprived, no excuse. But another person said regarding favorite TV shows and everything, they wrote that the only TV show they watch and record is called On Patrol Live. This is another one I'm not familiar with. But they wrote us and told us this because they don't live in Arkansas. They don't live in, he doesn't live in Pine Bluff, but he says the show even shouts out a Chief Bradley Taylor from Hazen, Arkansas. Is that Hazen? Is that right? Or maybe it's Hazel. I don't know Hazen or Hazel. I don't know any of that. I don't think they mean Hazel, but anyway, they say this show in Arkansas, they have 8 to 10 cameras following this guy around while he's fighting fights. So, hey, thanks to you, Chief Taylor. Shout out to you, bro. We got some others here, but obviously I've gone on a tangent or two, so I'm not going to read them all. But what we're going to do is we are going to go to our sponsors. We're going to take a quick break, go to our sponsors again, and we have some announcements coming up right after the break. So stay tuned. Come back with us.
For almost the past 30 years, Nutrimart has been one of the leading vitamin, supplement, health brands and a pillar in the San Diego community. Now boasting 8 stores in San Diego, this family-owned brand has a full-service online store for those of us in this part of the country, and they cater to all athletes, CrossFitters, health nuts, Yo Mama, Bo Jackson, Frodo and his Hobbits, Han Swallow, Darth Sith Pack, coaches, and a plethora of so many different sports enthusiasts across the country. And like those that order this product from coast to coast, you too can use Nutrimart for all your health needs. Find all the best national brands in vitamins, meal replacements, testosterone, libido enhancers, greens, herbs, protein bars, fat loss aids, muscle builders, and more. And order today from NutrimartUSA.com. That's NutrimartUSA.com. We'll put the address on the screen below, and you can start your order today. Don't miss out now. Go to NutrimartUSA.com, check out their vast array of products, and order today. And get your swole on, people. Now back to the show.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All the Things Podcast. I am your host, Patrick W. Dockett, aka Mendex the Poet. Thanks for coming back with us. Listen, our logo, and this goes all the way up the food chain to warn the regulator, is let your peace be heard, but peace being P-E-A-C-E, because everything in this music space, in this artistic space, or in any spaces should be free of any type of stupidity and violence and aggression and any of that stuff that goes on down here. We have to change the culture. Like changing the culture is that's what we're here for. I mean, that's one of our missions. We're put on, I don't know what your vocation is or what your path is, but every single one of us can make this a better space with what we do, with who we attract, with, linking our arms together like a chain, and making sure that nothing get gets past us, nothing bad, none of this crap that we turn on the news and see all these young people, all these 20-something-year-olds, all these 30-year-olds, these, I guess you can call them gangsters or tough guys or thugs or whatever. It's like, let's talk about that for a second. I used to remember a time, and this is in the neighborhoods I grew up in now, but back in the 80s, where gangsters, as you call them, or thugs or whatever, which isn't a bad word. It's just, it is what it is. You got a businessman, you got a nurse, you got a doctor, you got a chef, you got a waiter, you got people are, we don't like to put labels on people that don't call themselves these things, but just from the outside looking in. But I remember personally when gangs used to be formed on blocks, right? They were there to kind of protect that block. Simple. They would dress in a way, or not speak in a way that makes you comfortable, or dress in a way that makes you say, yeah, I'll stay on this side of the street or whatever. But it's like having levels in something. In the military, for instance, you have generals, and then you go all the way down. You have privates. I at least look at the old culture, gang culture, as they were like privates of our neighborhoods. We didn't grow up in the best neighborhoods, so I'm speaking from a perspective here where there's most neighborhoods, not most, but a lot of neighborhoods in Pine Bluff. They still they're in that aesthetic, so they have to still deal with all that culture. But here's what, when I was a kid, from what I remember, and my uncles or my older cousins and friends that were in them, they only formed to protect the neighborhood. So if anybody else came over to try to rob Miss Robinson down the street, or somebody was messing with the kids at the bus stop, this is when these guys would step in. And they were tough guys, and they carried weapons, and they did what they could to make sure that the neighborhood was safe. And yes, if other people, other thugs from a different neighborhood or wherever came into the neighborhood, that's when a lot of violence happened. It was like, okay, well, we're going to stop you. You're not coming over here. We're going to stop you. So I understand it. I understand territory. They're not fighting for anything that they own. Obviously, it's somebody else's. But I understand territorial things like that. But now it's like you just go anywhere, any store, any public place. It's like they're looking at all the innocent. They used to only know, they would zero in and they would know, oh, that's my opposition right there. That's my op. That guy right there, he's from this block. He look at him. He has on however they would notice each other. They would normally keep the innocents out of it, except there was always, bullets don't have friends. So, people always got hurt outside of it, but you never had to worry about being attacked or being in the middle of something. You're an innocent, you're not a thug, you don't dress like one, you're not in a gang. People, those types of people generally are good people. You can, coexist with them, meet them in a store and say hi. They help older people with groceries sometimes. It's not like that anymore. It's like, that's why I don't know what to call them, whether they're thugs or tough guys, or whether they're just outright weaklings, because they will disrespect older people. They're not just looking for their ops. Everybody, if you get in their way, if you're driving too slow, they might come up beside you in the next lane and flip you off or something, and dare you to flip them off back, or dare you to just do or say something so they can follow you. Like I have some stories, people, and I'm definitely not one of those people that will get involved with certain things like that. Like I haven't been in the areas, or listen, I'm a proud gun owner. I love the law, and I love people that are law-abiding citizens. I don't have any, I don't have any punk in me, but I'm never walking around trying to be this tough guy or whatever. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. And the way I see them now, like I don't know what to call them. I mean, they disrespect older people. They would. I listen. I don't look in many people's eyes when I go out. I'm not trying to be in anybody's business, but as I told you before, I have what I've been told is resting stone face when I don't smile or anything like that. So just with on my face alone, I attract bad attention because always there's some young wannabe whatever they are. They are always like people just stare at me sometimes. Young men, yeah, they'll stare at me, and if I stare back too long, I can see the aggression rise, and I'm like, geez Louise, I was just coming out to get some salad, bro. Or it's just it's one of those things where I just don't understand. It's a young culture. And going back to the clip we saw earlier, worst period generation period ever period. Is that what we're in right now? Because I will tell you this: instead of trying to fix that type of environment, most people like me, we're just moving out, moving away from it. Love young people, want to help them. I was one. Everybody, I mean, like, but this is not a third world country, even though a lot of parts of the country look like that. And it's becoming a third world country, uh, mentality wise. Our minds, our culture is becoming third world. That's when you know if a society has failed. And it's all going to tie back and keep tying into politics and all the things we're going to be talking about as the political season, as the run to the White House, as all these things pick up. Guys, I don't get tired of this, and I hope there's a way that when the things start heating up, and if you're paying attention, just like I am, that these things are interesting to you because we need to take an interest because the world is, not can be, not maybe, but the world is going to hell in a handbasket. So, what does that mean for those of us that just want peace? What does that mean for those of us that just want to spread a little light? You know, let your peace be heard. What does that mean for those of us that are trying to do something positive out here in the world? I look at this place. I look at Pine Bluff, Arkansas, as, as opposed to Tierra Santa or part of where San Diego, where I lived in, or La Mesa, and it's so beautiful everywhere out there. I love being around beauty. I've always said I don't need the biggest house or the best place. I just want to be in a place where it's beautiful all around. In Pine Bluff, Arkansas, which used to be a very beautiful, it's a poor town in the grand scheme of things, but people used to know how to take care of whatever they had, you know. Now to find beauty in this small place, you have to go and find it because it's not everywhere anymore. And that's very sad. That's very sad to me, guys. I wonder what you think about that. Go ahead and get some messages, some notes into us. We're gonna be going live eventually, so we're gonna have a phone set up. So when I say something right off the cuff, you don't have to wait to write us or have your comments heard during the next show. You'll be able to call us right away. We're setting that up. We're in the midst of doing that now. So that very well may be part of our next pod or maybe a few down the road. We're still taking things a little slow, but I do want to know what you guys think about it. All the people here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And I know a lot of you guys will probably DM us and write us because everyone, I believe, will probably have something to say about it. People that have been here much longer than I have. I'm so drawn by it because I left 20 years ago when it was a completely different place and came back to this. And some of it's very sad. It's still nostalgic. I go by places that I used to, we used to live, or neighborhoods that not as good anymore. And you still feel the good nostalgic feelings. Oh, I used to play ball over there in that field, or you'll feel certain things you did as a kid, but just how they look now. Yeah, I grew up on Rose Street, man. I grew up in a beautiful neighborhood. We had such wonderful times over there, but it doesn't look that way now. I apologize. I'm not saying anything about anybody's whatever. I'm talking about my experience. But yeah, it's a good subject to tackle because this is where you rest your head, people. Pine Bluff, you are a city just like like your city against the next city or versus the next city. Like where do we stack up? Where do we where do we stack up with not just how we look, but how we treat each other? Um, some of those quaint little towns you see on some of the country shows or Lifetime shows or whatever. I don't watch Lifetime. I have a really good friend that watches Lifetime. You know who you are, A. Shout out to Miss A there. But I I can't. I love those places. They romanticize these little small country towns. Like everybody gets along, and we're all we're all so kumbaya together. And I came back to this small country town. I'm like, well, at least it's gonna be like that. And yeah, no, no, not in the least. I mean, they're nice people. I've met a bunch of nice people, but and you know what? I'm not saying it's perfect up there, but can I tell you one thing really quick, and we're gonna go to break in a second. But can I tell you that I almost forgot what racism was when I was in San Diego? I mean, hear me out. I almost forgot it existed. I was a writer, musician. Yes, I was hanging around my crew, we were all, we were all working in the entertainment industry. But I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about places. I'm talking about going downtown or going to any concert or going to the malls. The La Jolla Mall is one of the richest malls, or Del Mar, La Jolla. You go there if you have money, okay, or if you live nearby, and you go to places. There's a places, and don't get me wrong, because if you go to one of those places, you don't look like you should be there, and maybe you get looks, but nobody, because there's so many people up there. It's like the haves and the have not. If you had not, yeah, there's a thing about that, and there's a bunch of homeless up there. The homeless population is crazy up in California, which I'm surprised we don't have here. We have a lot of poor people, but we have very few homeless. That's a blessing in itself, I assume. But I know they're out there. It's just not like California. But people did not treat people. I mean, like everybody accepted you. It's like the you feel it when you go into a room. Down here, I forgot. I go into some rooms or some places, and I can already feel, because I'm the same hue as the next man with the sagging pants, or the people that populate this part of the city, the state, whatever. And it's sad because people do have to, you know, watch out for themselves and their families. But I go out to places, and I automatically just feel it. I'm like, oh, uh-oh, there's one of them here, you know. You know which areas I'm talking about. So if that's not your experience, fine, but I'm just telling you mine. So that's the one thing. If nothing else, I miss that about San Diego. I miss that all in all, the majority of us were all together. You go into a place, you're dressed like the people that are in that place, they automatically know you belong. It's like, okay, it's cool. It's all good. But so the places, I mean, we got to stop judging others, no matter for financial reasons, monetary reasons, or dress or whatever. Listen, I dress like crap. I don't care about fashion anymore. You got to go back, delve into my portfolio to see when I cared about fashion. And when I was a young musician and a young writer, yeah, I cared about it then. But I'm the person that will look like he's stone cold broke most of the time, which is fine. Um, but that's gosh, man, I tell you, people could take a lesson. It's liberal, it's hedonistic, some ways unbearable, crazy expensive if you know, it's crazy expensive up there. But in spite of all of its faults, uh, in terms of in California, the way a lot of people, groups treat each other, that's something that can be learned down here in this really small place. I think that would uplift the city. I promise you it starts there. But a lot of these young people, they're so far gone that I get it, man. I get you really gotta protect yourself. So anyway, we're gonna take a break, hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll come right back.
For almost the past 30 years, Nutrimart has been one of the leading vitamin, supplement, health brands and a pillar in the San Diego community. Now boasting 8 stores in San Diego, this family-owned brand has a full-service online store for those of us in this part of the country, and they cater to all athletes, CrossFitters, health nuts, Yo Mama, Bo Jackson, Frodo and his Hobbits, Han Swallow, Darth Sith Pack, coaches, and a plethora of so many different sports enthusiasts across the country. And like those that order this product from coast to coast, you too can use Nutrimart for all your health needs. Find all the best national brands in vitamins, meal replacements, testosterone, libido enhancers, greens, herbs, protein bars, fat loss aids, muscle builders, and more. And order today from NutrimartUSA.com. That's NutrimartUSA.com. We'll put the address on the screen below, and you can start your order today. Don't miss out now. Go to NutrimartUSA.com, check out their vast array of products, and order today. And get your swole on, people. Now back to the show.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I think we're going to talk about one or two more things before we get out of here. So we've had some really good feedback, and we've just been starting now. I've been part of a podcast before. I did Chords and Vines podcast in San Diego, California, which was pretty great. Great experience. Different format. They're still up and running today. But shout out to you, Kat. Shout out to you guys up there at Chords and Vines. We've gotten such good feedback, and we've been accepted by the online podcasting community so far. You know, a lot of behind the scenes things going on and messages and stuff that you guys won't always see. But just on our first podcast, we had an online journalist, Jared Easley, writes for, I think, podcastmovement.com 2024, something like that. Not sure about him too much. He just got an article he wrote, and he sent it to me, emailed me, and it says, "I wanted to leave a review for your show." And he was looking for us on Apple Podcasts. We are, by the way. You can catch us where you get all your podcasts. YouTube obviously is a great channel. We're on Spotify, Apple Music. Everywhere that you can listen to your podcast, you can hit us up there too. All the Things podcast, hosted by Patrick W. Dockett. When you go to YouTube, you have to put All the Things podcast, and then maybe after you put my first name, it'll show up. It's like the first or second one that shows up. But anyway, I thought I would just share this with you guys, which was pretty dope. You know, my producers and I were reading it, and it's pretty dope. The title is the article, All the Things, presented by Euphonic Creation, introducing a fresh voice in podcasting. In the inaugural episode of Euphonic Creations, of All the Things, presented by Euphonic Creations, host Patrick W. Dockett and CEO Warren Reed take listeners through their backgrounds and the vision behind their new podcast. Reed's extensive experience in the music industry and passion for ministry and contemporary music sets the stage for a unique perspective on the entertainment world. Dockett, a talented writer and artist, there's journalistic integrity. He shares his experience of transitioning from the West Coast back to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, highlighting the stark cultural differences and the challenges of such a move. The conversation takes a serious turn as they delve into the issue of scamming, the lack of infrastructure and protection against it, but Dockett shared personal encounters that left him emotionally shaken. Now, listen, I didn't say I was emotionally shaken, but yeah, I was emotionally shaken. Okay, whatever. The episode also explores the current state of politics and media, which that's a whole lot of what we're going to be talking about a lot of podcasts, with their host expressing concerns about broken government systems and the shift toward bias reporting. Dockett's admiration for the idealistic portrayal of politics in the West Wing starkly contrasts with the reality of today's political landscape. And we are going to be doing those watch parties. The West Wing is definitely on deck, and it's smart watching. I know some of you will join us for that. Introducing the brackets concept, which we're going to talk about in one moment, by the way. The show promises to tackle various topics through debates and discussions. The Q&A section and the emphasis on engaging with people on the streets demonstrate the host's commitment to sharing human interest stories and amplifying the voices of Pine Bluff residents. That is our goal. That's our key, Pine Bluff. That's why we're here. Okay. With the help of field producer Sean Adams, shout out to you, Sean, Refined Creations aims to break stereotypes about the South and showcase diverse opinions and experiences of the people in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. This inaugural episode sets the stage for a thought-provoking and engaging podcast to tackle essential issues while celebrating the power of storytelling and human connection. Best wishes with the show. Grateful, Jared Easley. Now, who said integrity in the fourth estate was dead? That's some journalistic integrity right there. Now, just kidding around. We do appreciate any type of publicity or anybody that turns their ear to listen to us for a bit. We do have something to say. Shout out Andre Three Stacks. The South has something to say. We really want to just, guys. There's so much potential here. It's a great place to be. It was a great place to be. It still can be again. I hate when people leave here, even like myself, and it's like you always come back and there's just something bad to say about Pine Bluff because our city is a little dilapidated. It is some parts have gone in the wrong direction, but that can be changed, guys. We can turn that around. So I definitely want to make sure that I shout out Jared there, and that was a really good thing. Really, we didn't call for it or ask for it. It's just one of the things that happened. So yeah, that's awesome, guys. And brackets. Oh, brackets. Before and I'll make sure my producer doesn't have anything else. But so brackets is going to be. We obviously kind of like take you into it with when Sean's out in the street and we're putting everything on brackets. Now with the YouTube format, I think I'm mainly going to put up brackets just so it's there for everyone to see. So we're going to have these talks about a certain thing or what's your best or what's your favorite or this and that. And we're going to tighten it up a little bit more. And we're just going to have brackets and we'll talk to certain people about certain things, but it's going to all be bracketed. So for instance, if we're talking about movies, I might have 14 movies up there. When Sean goes out or a man on the street goes out or a woman on the street, when they go out, they might only talk to you about 4 of them. And then they'll go to another group and talk about 4. And they'll go to another group and talk about 4. And what we're going to be doing here is obviously breaking them down from guest to guest and moving them up. You know, you're going to have a North, a South, an Eastern Conference bracket. It's kind of like the March Madness brackets, if you will. So those brackets will be put up on the YouTube page. And when we actually start this and we'll go through it, we'll be thorough with it because I don't want to just talk about something and just leave it. You know, there's certain things you do that with. The brackets is going to be one of those ongoing things. So when we put up the bracket and then a week-to-week basis, you know, certain things will move up. Whether we're talking about shows, movies, music, cars, days of the week, you know, professions, whatever we're talking about, we're bracketing. So and we're going to have so many different people that will comment and we'll be able to rate things. We'll be able to get percentages. 40% of the people say that The Godfather is the best gangster movie. No, there's 40% or 44% thinks that, and then you have 55 or 50% that thinks that no, Scarface was the best. You know, we're gonna have everything that's gonna be thoughtfully processed and put out, and then we of course will give our here at All the Things podcast. We're gonna give our opinion about it. You know, we're the gavel. We're the deciding factor. Okay, so we're gonna call it out, and then we'll be doing brackets there. So mainly on the YouTube channel, obviously Spotify. You can we talk about it. We put the brackets up anywhere where you see video, you'll be able to see it. But on the YouTube channel, it's going to be prevalent there because you'll be able to go there and look at it all the time, even when we're not on. So yeah, that's just the update on brackets. So we look forward to bringing you that. And now we do have our man on the street, I believe, Sean Adams. He's here with some more Pine Bluff voices. Now, I love this segment. I love when this young man goes out, reaches out to people, engages the community, we just get gold out there. We got gold, and it's amazing to see, amazing to watch. Shout out to you again, Mr. Sean Adams, our man on the street, our field producer. We're gonna go to him, and then we'll come right back before we let you go. All right, thanks.
For almost the past 30 years, Nutrimart has been one of the leading vitamin, supplement, health brands and a pillar in the San Diego community. Now boasting 8 stores in San Diego, this family-owned brand has a full-service online store for those of us in this part of the country, and they cater to all athletes, CrossFitters, health nuts, Yo Mama, Bo Jackson, Frodo and his Hobbits, Han Swallow, Darth Sith Pack, coaches, and a plethora of so many different sports enthusiasts across the country. And like those that order this product from coast to coast, you too can use Nutrimart for all your health needs. Find all the best national brands in vitamins, meal replacements, testosterone, libido enhancers, greens, herbs, protein bars, fat loss aids, muscle builders, and more. And order today from NutrimartUSA.com. That's NutrimartUSA.com. We'll put the address on the screen below, and you can start your order today. Don't miss out now. Go to NutrimartUSA.com, check out their vast array of products, and order today. And get your swole on, people. Now back to the show.
My Lord Jesus, take heed and believe us. A few chosen soldiers versus many unbelievers. So please never leave us. They hated you first, but now the world got their hands on us. It gets worse, Lord, I'm tired, I'm upset, depressed, addicted to cigarettes. But even though I'm moody, I know you never lose me. Whether it's drugs and thugs or cuties, we're big booties. We're killing ourselves, dying and going to hell. My Lord, we need your help, there is no one else. These sinful voices in my head making me kill myself. And Lord, if they take over, I'll never be sober, cause already I'm a liar, backslider and a smoker, and it goes much deeper. I've done so wrong, my God, even when I seek it, I still sin on. So much pain, I can't hide, I can't really feel your peace inside. And without, I'm so lost. Can I really be righteous with a peace that's false, with a life that's fake? Tell me what's at stake, tell me can I be content with some loot in the bank? And like X, it seems I'm next. Tell me, can I follow you and not succumb to the flesh? Lord, am I truly cursed or blindly blessed? I don't know, bless me so I can pass this test. My Lord, please bless me not to let my blessings be. I was once blind, but now I see. Same old tell a tale, I'm a debtor in jail. You're nothing's more real than heaven and hotter than hell. I won't move, so you get out the way. Should I let this word destroy me so my folks get paid? Since I done been through the storm, I'm no longer the same. But while I'm here, I'ma thank you for that one more day and 10.
I wake up and I'm glad I'm alive. I just hope that I make it through the day and the night. Reason why this world is crazy, son. Walking out the door, next thing you know, you're staring at a barrel of a gun. Hypothetically speaking, having people creeping around the corners of a dark alleyway when the night is getting colder. Always praying to the beholder. Lord, guide me through the day, cause the devil's trying to wrestle my shoulder. So always keep my head up high, even when a ton of weight is on me, still I manage to strive. My knees ain't never buckling, but if a bullet comes towards me, you know damn well I'm ducking. But I ain't letting none holding me back, doing as much as I can each day. There ain't no time for naps, cause you ain't promised to live another day. So I pray each night just to see that one more day.
My Lord, please bless me not to let my blessings be. I was once blind, but now I see. Same old tell a tale like a debtor in jail. You're nothing's more real than heaven or hotter than hell. I won't move, so you get out the way. Should I let this word destroy me so my folks will get paid? Since I done been through the storm, I'm no longer the same. But while I'm here, I'ma thank you for that one more day. My Lord, please bless me not to let my blessings be. I was once blind, but now I see. Same old tell a tale like a debtor in jail. You're nothing's more real than heaven and hotter than hell. I won't move, so you get out the way. Should I let this word destroy me so my folks get paid? Since I done been through the storm, I'm no longer the same. But while I'm here, I'ma thank you for that one more day. They say that the sign to deal with the devil, or are they judging or battling? I'm scribing, I'm scribbling what's happening. Ain't nothing what it seems. It takes dedication, desired like he light skin, dark skin complexion. Cause your reflection reveals an afterlife, one that's not worthy of the Christ. And you're the reason that he gave his life. He went through the strife, but instead of choosing him, you choose the side of the world because your wealth is that nice. Your cars are that tight, your chicks are that white, your crib is chill ride, enough to follow darkness and forsake light. Others came before me, but I won't bite. Originality is surely the only way to really make them see. Lord, please make them see. Like a thief in the night, he'll come. Imagine the faces when he comes back. Yeah. My Lord, please bless me, not to let my blessings be. I was once blind, but now I see. Same old tell a tale, either dead or in jail. You're nothing's more real than heaven and hotter than hell. I won't move, so you get out the way. Should I let this word destroy me so my folks could pay? Since I done been through the storm, I'm no longer the same. But while I'm here, I'ma thank you for that one more day. My Lord, please bless me, not to let my blessings be. I was once blind, but now I see. Same old tell a tale, either dead or in jail. You're nothing's more real than heaven and hotter than hell. I won't move, so you get out the way. Should I let this word destroy me so my folks get paid?
Thank Nutrimart for that. Love those guys. They are amazing. Go to their website. Order your whatever you're working on in your life. You're working on slimming up, losing a few pounds, supplements, vitamins. Just go there. Trust me, you will thank me. I get stuff from them. It's not because they're just they're a business I used to go to in San Diego all the time. I got stuck on something. That's where I first found my first Celsius. I don't know if you guys remember when the energy drinks were all unhealthy and it was just the rock stars and Red Bulls, which I used to drink a lot of. But I first found Celsius up there at Nutrimart, and I've been drinking it ever since. It's the healthy energy drink, and I'm not sponsored by Celsius or anything unless they want to sponsor me. But I'm saying go grab a Celsius instead of a rock star or something. But thank them for their sponsorship. Now that song you just heard, that's a song that when I was in my first band, Modern Day Poets, with Marlon Jackson Jr., and I was writing all the music. I must have been 22 at the time, 23. Yeah, it's one of my first projects I put out. But the song you heard, if you're a lyrical person, if you listen to the lyrics, you can see a 23-year-old man dealing with some very real world issues that it seemed like a lot of young people just go around not caring that they're dealing with it, like just willy-nilly. But every time I did something, it was heavy on me. I don't know what that says about my relationship with God, and you know, I mean, I know that He has He's always been there to warn me and stuff, and chastise me. So I do think that means something. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but I'm a manic depressive. I've been that way for a very long time, and even when things are going very, very well, and that's how you know whether you have some type of clinical issue, then you got to go to your doctors. I'm not you have to make sure that you are speaking to licensed professionals. I've been in therapy for years now, and they've tried several different medications on me that I don't even take like I'm supposed to. It got to the point so bad in therapy where, in terms of me being so down on myself and dealing with these issues, that my next step, my therapist, I think it was Dr. Bindle or somebody I don't see anymore, but it was one of my old therapists. He recommended shock therapy treatment, which I'm not sure too much about, but I think it's a step toward lobotomizing a person. So I don't know that, but the issues that I have are all they're internal issues that was caused by external things that I may have done, and I've lived a very wild life. Might not have made it per se, but when you're in that environment and when you're a musician and when you are around certain people, all the vices are there. So it's like you made it. There's not anything that I wanted that I did not get at that point in time in my life. And I was pretty insatiable. So I'm talking about a lot of those things just to encourage. And here's the thing. It's an old track. It's dated a little bit, but writing never grow old. So that message in that song is, I mean, it's a timeless message, because I'm not speaking as a hypocrite here when I say to avoid those things or whatever. I'm speaking to somebody that couldn't, that maybe, I don't know, just a warning You know, and that's a 22, 23-year-old me. So you have to know for somebody to write that, and when you listen to the lyrics, for somebody to write and be dealing with that, you know, and then put it to music. You know, it's very serious subjects, but I mean, I've been a writer for as long as I can remember, so I communicate better that way, I guess, or I used to. So when you hear those lyrics, that's a 23-year-old man. Now I'm an old man now, and still dealing with the same thing, some of the same things. God help me. Yeah. So it's a good song. I just thought I'd play it for you guys and let you know just a little bit more about your host. And I'll share some of those things. I've been in art. I've been having things published in some form or fashion since I was 16. So I will share writings with you guys, poetry, music, uh, chapters of my novel, uh, some of the new writings I have. I'm gonna have special guests for those segments though. The regulator himself and his wife. I'm not gonna say too much about it, but sometimes we'll have a segment when it comes to some of those more artistic things. But yeah, that was just one facet of your host here. It was nice to share that with you guys and just why and talk to you about just why I'm sharing it. So you'll hear more from us on that front, on that tip. More music and certain snippets of music on the YouTube channel. New things that we're doing in the studio right now, not just my old stuff or our old stuff as well. Just we got a lot of things going on, guys. So we're gonna take one more break.
For almost the past 30 years, Nutrimart has been one of the leading vitamin, supplement, health brands and a pillar in the San Diego community. Now boasting 8 stores in San Diego, this family-owned brand has a full-service online store for those of us in this part of the country, and they cater to all athletes, CrossFitters, health nuts, Yo Mama, Bo Jackson, Frodo and his Hobbits, Han Swallow, Darth Sith Pack coaches, and a plethora of so many different sports enthusiasts across the country. And like those that order this product from coast to coast, you too can use Nutrimart for all your health needs. Find all the best national brands in vitamins, meal replacements, testosterone, libido enhancers, greens, herbs, protein bars, fat loss aids, muscle builders, and more. And order today from NutrimartUSA.com. That's NutrimartUSA.com. We'll put the address on the screen below, and you can start your order today. Don't miss out now. Go to NutrimartUSA.com, check out their vast array of products, and order today. And get your swole on, people. Now back to the show.
All right, sorry I ran off on a tangent there. Thank you to our sponsors for everything, but we have to go to our man on the street now, Mr. Sean Adams, and we have our Q&As out here. This is technically brackets. It's a portion of what brackets is going to be. So, you know, just look at the physical version of it. But we also want you commenting online when the brackets show up on YouTube and everything there. We want all your feedback, not just when we go out to get it, which we're going to always do. But Mr. Sean Adams, our man on the street, you take it away, bud. Thank you guys for being here with us this week. We'll see you again.
So the name of this podcast is All the Things. I am your street interviewer, Sean Adams, presented by Euphonic Creations. And I have 2 interviewees today, and I want them to go ahead and introduce themselves.
I'm Kaya. I'm Jayla.
I'm going to ask them some versus questions today. I'm going to ask them like this versus that versus this. So the first question is, how do you feel that your city stands up to her city? Like comparing, like, do you feel like your city is better than her city, or do you feel like her city is better than yours?
I gotta pick one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm from a small city, so I would guess since she's from Memphis, I would say Memphis is probably better.
I'm Maria.
My name is Logan. My name is Dennis.
And I'm Gigi. Most definitely my hometown. There's way more to do there than here.
Let them know. Let them know where you're from.
I guess technically I'm from Little Rock because I graduated there. So, yeah, I would say Little Rock.
I would say 100%. My city is better than Pine Bluff, and I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You know, there's not much to do there, but you know, you can definitely have more fun than here.
I'm not gonna lie. My city is 1,000 times better than Pine Bluff. I love Pine Bluff, though. You know, it's nice, it's beautiful. But you know, Kansas City, you know, the 2-time Super Bowl champs, the back-to-back Super Bowl champs, should be 3-peat champs. You feel me? This, you know, there's too much going on. Love my city, man.
Definitely my city, because not only is it topping this city, it's topping everybody else's. I'm Chicago. We them G's, man. Hey, we don't need the rings. We got the food, the locations, the tourist attractions. We got all that.
Okay, next question.
All right. Next question is who y'all think the better actor is? I'm gonna choose Forrest Whitaker and Morgan Freeman. Go ahead. Your turn.
I feel like Forrest. I fought Forrest because Morgan, he go up there and play himself. I don't know. That's why he better.
Go ahead, no.
I'm gonna go with Morgan Freeman because, like she said, he just acts like himself. It's easy for him. He don't really got to do nothing. That's why he better.
Okay. The last question is who y'all think the better singer is? I'm gonna do Janae Aiko or Summer Walker.
Summer. Oh wait. Oh wait. Wait. Oh, I don't know. Janae. Okay, I'm gonna guess if I have to choose, I'm gonna choose Summer, but I like Janae too.
I'm gonna choose Janae because I really don't listen to neither one of them, but I'm gonna choose Janae though. She be coming out with some nice stuff.
We could do another one. We could do Glorilla and Sexy Red if y'all want to. But go ahead, shout your Instagrams out.
My Instagram is KayaT._KARYA.
Hazel_IJ. That's it.
My next question is favorite actor or actors basically. I'm gonna do Denzel Washington and Forrest Whitaker.
I can't start this off. I can't do it.
I'm gonna have to say Morgan Freeman.
Girl, I said Denzel Washington or.
Oh, you saying either or?
Whitaker, yeah.
Tell me to pick. Yeah. Oh, okay. Definitely Denzel. Like that's a no-brainer for me, Denzel for sure.
What?
Forrest Whitaker is hard. I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's not hard, but Denzel, it been funny.
It is kind of tough.
Okay, check me out.
For sure.
What was? Dang. Okay, all the equalizers is tough. That's Denzel, right? Yeah. All the equalizers is tough. I'm not gonna lie. You know, Denzel do his thing, and he always the lead role. I feel like what was Forrest Whitaker the lead role in? The Butler, but like I don't know. He don't got a whole lot of lead roles. But no, listen. No, it don't. He don't got a whole lot of lead roles like Denzel.
It's definitely Denzel.
Okay, this is a bonus question. Yeah, a bonus question. So, who has the best cartoons? Disney Channel or Nickelodeon? Add on to.
Nickelodeon? All right, name the top shows off of Nickelodeon for you.
Top shows off of Nickelodeon. Top shows off of Nickelodeon: SpongeBob, Avatar, Fairly Odd Parents. We got
Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We got Mighty B. Come on now. Help me out.
My gym partner is a monkey. No, that's Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network.
You said 5.
Anyways,
I just
Disney. Okay,
named
Good Luck Charlie.
I would still have to go with.
I don't know. Nickelodeon cartoons are just more memorable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Nickelodeon. We just talking about cartoons.
Disney was known for like their shows. Yeah, Disney are known for their actual shows, not cartoons and stuff. Maybe movies, but not cartoons.
Yeah, go on, shout your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever.
All right, so my IG is Fiji Juice. JUICE. Fiji Juice.
All right. Instagram is Logan is legendary. It's a period between each word. I don't really want y'all following me. Just know my name, Dennis. Just put Dennis right there. Just Dennis. Y'all be easy. Y'all be safe. Stay smooth. Dang.
My Instagram is, I have a few, but we just gonna talk about tubular.g, tubular TUBULAR.g. Tubular G.
Our Instagram is Sean4x_.
I don't know this part, but I'm going
guys, this is the end of the video. Go ahead, hit your little waves, say bye to the camera.
Oh.
It's the music of the